William Shatner destroys Screen Rant in a single tweet. And they absolutely deserved it. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. As many of you know, I've got a lot of fingers in various geek pies. Ladies! And Star Trek is one of them. I love me some Star Trek. My love of Star Trek began with the original series when I was a little kid, watching Kirk and McCoy and Spock on their various adventures. And then when I became a teenager and the Next Generation came along, well, I wasn't a teenager, but when the Next Generation came along, it just changed my life. Absolutely, I loved it. Absolutely adore it. My favourite TV show of all time. But I had so much respect and love for William Shatner. I loved his character of James T. Kirk. I loved McCoy's, DeForest Kelly's McCoy, and I loved, Leonard Nimoy's Spock. And even when the Next Generation was going on, we of course had the original Cruise movies to watch. Varying degrees of quality, shall we say. But it was always wonderful to see them on screen. I have, kept an eye here or there on William Shatner's career. He did Columbo. I love Columbo. T.J. Hooker. Used to watch T.J. Hooker. And various other things, such and so forth. I mean, I'm talking really sort of like when I was a young chappy and whatnot. And I really respect the guy. Is he a perfect guy? Of course he isn't. You show me a perfect person. It doesn't exist. But of course, we hold our heroes up to such a high standard that anything that they may do, any act of being human just like the rest of us, is seen as a weakness or a negative. And I think he's a wonderful person, absolutely wonderful person. And one thing that has always remained with me when it comes to Bill Shatner is the fact that he's always charming, courteous, polite, respectful when it comes not only to the fans, but Star Trek itself. And you can see that he has an incredible amount of love for the character of Kirk that he played. Some may argue a wee bit too much, but that's by the by. I personally don't think so. I think he's got every reason to be as proud of that character as he does. And so when people take pot shots at him, it cheeses me off. Not because Bill Shatner can't handle himself, because William Shatner can handle himself. I mean, it was only a year or two ago that he destroyed a couple of filth dirt people who had a fan podcast who said the horrendous thing of, I wish it was Bill Shatner that had passed away and not Leonard Nimoy. I wish we had both people still with us. And he destroyed them in 5 words. What a thing to say. And they went into absolute meltdown. Oh, we're being attacked by him. We're the victims. Oh no, he sent his mob after us. Those 5 words annihilated them. And they stepped away. One of them stepped away from the podcast. I think maybe the other one might have done as well. So he can handle himself, don't get me wrong. But William Shatner's 89 years of age now. He's no spring chicken. As much as we'd love him to live forever, he won't. And he's 89 years old. So when you have unmitigated filth like Screen Rant, who create articles to be antagonistic, who create articles to get hate clicks and hate bait, and when they tag him in to an article where they are purposely trying to belittle him and demean him, then you have to ask yourself, what level of psychopath, degenerate are you dealing with? An 89-year-old man. You want to have a dig at an 89-year-old man. What is wrong with your brain? I mean, I know social media has shown a lot of people for exactly what they truly are, which is degenerate filth. But what is wrong with you up here? And the article they created, they put out this tweet. We'll have a look at the article in a moment. James T. Kirk became captain at a young age in both Star Trek timelines, but Chris Pine's version blows at William Shatner, tagging him in, away in terms of speed. Slow and steady wins the race. And so it links to this shitty article. Absolute dog shite article. Star Trek, how old Kirk was when he became captain in both timelines. And then they reiterate that Chris Pine's version blows Shatner away in terms of speed. Now, the opening paragraph by the moron talks about when Chris Pine took over the role in Abraham's reboot, which resulted in a successful Star Trek trilogy. Well, it was so successful that they decided to stop making movies after the third. Whereas they also mention above that William Shatner did 3 seasons, that's live action seasons, never mind the animated season, and 7 movies. But it was Pine's trilogy of movies in the reboot. Sold everything. They then go into some waffle about when Kirk became captain. They say this, that Kirk, he became the captain of the Enterprise at 32 years of age. William Shatner's version. However, Shatner's Kirk had nothing on the improbably meteoric rise of his Kelvin timeline doppelganger, because Chris Pine's Kirk became captain of the Enterprise at 25. Now, I think the Star Trek reboot film of 2009 is okay. I don't think it's spectacular. I don't think it's great. It's okay. It has some terrible pacing issues. And one of the things which does stand out as ludicrous is the rise of Kirk from a cadet to captain in a few hours. It's silly. The progression of how he got to his seat of power is daft. And that was one of the really daft things about the film. So they go on about this, blah, 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 waffle, 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 who cares? So what does William Shatner do? They tag him into this derogatory article. They try and demean him and belittle him. They're having pot shots at an 89-year-old man because they're pathetic individuals. But as I said, Shatner can fight back. And he replies with this baller answer. If you do the math, I was Kirk for 3,397 minutes. Assumption, 79 original episodes at 43 minutes, not including the movies. Versus Chris's 383 minutes, 3 movies running time. So it'd have to be 9 times faster in his career as Kirk just to keep up. So he was slower. Which is absolutely right. He did 3 series. 43 minutes a show. He did the animated. He did the movies as well, which is not taken into consideration here. And the actual amount of time spent as Captain Kirk versus the amount of time... And this is no disrespect to Chris Pine, because I like Chris Pine. I've got nothing against the man at all. He's just casualty in this article by Screen Tat. That they try and play it off. That, yeah, they did 3 movies and they were so successful that they got cancelled after that. There was no interest after that. Star Trek Beyond did, although I think it's the best of the 3 films, to be honest with you. And the worst of the 3 is The Wrath of Khan, was it Into Darkness. Oh, it's a terrible film. Terrible. I think that took the most at the box office eventually, or that it grossed in the most money, but they weren't successful. And so after Star Trek Beyond, that was it, because it didn't do anything. That movies are over. So why don't you create an article. I mean, this is just me off the top of my head. Heaven forbid I'd tell a tat hate clickbaiting website how to do their job. But why don't you create an article around the amount of time that William Shatner has spent as Captain Kirk and the positive aspect that it had in building Star Trek as a franchise, as a beloved franchise for 50, nearly 60 odd years now. 55 odd years or so. Why, instead of like 3 movies and out, focus on something a bit more positive. Or if you wanted your hate clicks, why don't you, although it wouldn't be hate clicks, they'd be great clicks. Why don't you just go, hey, look at how much of the original stuff was made. Look how much of the Next Generation was made. Look how much DS9 was made. Look how much of Voyager was made in relation to the shite which has gone out now. And do a comparison between beloved series and an absolute shite that's thrown together by Kurtzman and crew who have no understanding of what Star Trek actually is. Why don't you do something along those lines? Or maybe you should just stick what you're good at. Writing piss poor articles and having goes at 89-year-old men because you're a bunch of filthy cowards. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links to the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.